Hello summoners, welcome back to the channel, and in this video we're going to take a look at Sasquatch. So I got this guy from the 4-star featured arena when he was initially released, mostly because of the Sabertooth synergy, and I recently ranked him up for the 4-star Cavalier difficulty objective. And the reason for that is like I want to try characters that I don't already have as 5 stars and 6 stars, and characters that I don't use every day. So I already have like Dr. Doom, Clairvoyant, Simba Supreme, Magic, Morningstar, like a lot of the good mystic characters. So that is the reason I ranked him up as a 4-star. He does have some, he doesn't have much utility, but he has some cool immunities. Like he is I think he is immune to cold snap. I'm not even sure. Like this is not a guide by any means. Like this is more of an initial gameplay and first impressions video. So I played around with him in Cavalier difficulty, and I really liked this character. Like he was really fun to play, which is the reason I'm making this video. Like there's a lot of like his basic hits don't do that much damage, as you can see here, but like the ruptures, they do some decent damage, as you can see, like 488 per tick, which is like decent amount. You can get like at some point I think I am going to do like more than 500 damage with the ruptures, but 488 seems to be the most constant number at the moment, at least, without any class advantage or stuff. So even that, like that's pretty decent, because like as you can see, it has a really good uptime. So basically it just goes down for the first 2 hits of the SP2, which hit incredibly hard. So like now we are doing 544 damage, but as you can see, like if the SP2 crits, it does some really good damage the first 2 hits. The third hit will always do less damage, but it puts the ruptures back on the opponent, so you can get the damage over time again. And his SP2 damage is dependent on the ruptures, I think. You can also like refresh the ruptures from the SP1, so that is something that I have seen other people use, but I just really liked the flow of the SP2 spams and stuff. So we're going to, and for utility, like mystic characters are usually known for their nullify abilities, and he can stagger on heavy attacks. It's not that powerful. Like against characters that get a lot of buffs, it's nowhere close to Simba Supreme, Sorcerer Supreme, Clairvoyant, or Dr. Doom, or Morningstar's SP2. Like those characters will always be better in the usual mystic matchup, but he is still a really good character with really high damage output. As you can see here, like each SP2 is putting a big dent on this Winter Soldier's health, and it hasn't been that long since this fight started, and he's almost down to 20%. So as you can see here, the heavy attack, like I'm just playing around with him again. I'm not I have no idea what's the ideal rotation with him and stuff. His Wrath of Titan, I think, it gives him some utility. It's not as he is stun immune in that phase, so it could be useful in certain fights, like but Nick Fury, characters like Nick Fury are just so much more reliable. I'm not sure how that like the Wrath of Titan thing works exactly, but as you can see, like we get a lot of power back when we use special attacks in that mode. So like even though it took 200 hits, which is not that bad at all for a 4-star rank 5 character, but on top of that, there was a lot of power that we were getting back from the using our special attacks in that phase. So now we are going to move on to Captain Marvel. Here we do have the class advantage, but the ruptures, like I'm not sure how, like they probably have, from what I'm looking at, they seem to have a chance of applying on basic hits. Here I tried the SP1, as you can see, that refreshes the ruptures, so he might be a little RNG dependent, but for the most part you can at least get 4 to 6 ruptures at all times, like until you build up your SP2 at least. And here now we are in the Wrath phase, so maybe you should use SP1 till you are in the Wrath phase. Then like we used SP2 and we are almost back to SP2 again, so like here In one Wrath of Titan phase, we got 2 SP2s out, and now we have again so a lot of power, so another 5 hit combos, SP1 to refresh the ruptures, and we are doing like with class advantage 732 damage per tick, which is extremely good. Like for 4-star characters, I think my 565 void before he has a Fear of the Void on, yeah, he needs like 3 debuffs to match this. So and like it's constant damage, you can saw that 22,000 crit, we're back to 2 bars of power, another SP2, we again in another 5 hits we should be back to 2 bars of power. Like this character is just so much fun to play, and especially when the special attack crits like SP2, the first 2 hit if it crits, then you're having a really good time. Again, for utility, he doesn't have much. He has some kind of immunities which made him like really good for the Silver Surfer boss. Like some people were saying in the start that he would be the MVP there, but no, I guess not a lot of people have him. Plus not a lot of people use him effectively. Plus like Medusa just definitely probably like she was a really good counter there. But anyways, like as you can see here, we're doing some really solid damage, and when the Wrath is on, again I'm not sure how he works, but he does get some power drain kind of thing. I think when the opponent is at 3 bars of power or something, when you use your SP2 and you are in the Wrath of Titan phase, so that like reminds me of a character like Corvus. Of course, the damage on Corvus with charges is a lot higher probably than this, but he isn't restricted by having 20 charges. So I think like he's a really balanced character. He can get a lot of stuff done if you get him early on in the game, and like I really like him. Like if I get him as a 5-star, I would 100% take him to rank 5 over like a lot of characters like Dr. Voodoo and stuff, because I really enjoy his playstyle. And now this Juggernaut fight, like I was entering with 41%, and Juggernaut is slightly tricky, and also like Sasquatch is a lot about aggressive playstyle, which is something that you can do in Realm of Legend quite easily. But here I was testing the stagger thing, and apparently you can just have 2, which is a shame. But even otherwise, like I'm not a fan of heavy attack staggers. Thor and Foster also does this. I think Juggernaut also has stagger on this heavy attack, right? Iron Fist has some, like he can nullify a few stuff on the heavy attack as well, but that is never that practical when the opponent really has a lot of buffs. But here again, as you can see, we're holding a block so that he doesn't throw his special, so we can, and like here you can see 2 power drains there. So I think when the Wrath is on and when the opponent has 3 bars of power, like here you saw the power drain again, the power drain, like whenever he goes to 3 bars of power and we use the special attacks, it has a power drain if the Wrath is on, I think. And that could be a synergy that I'm using, to be fair. Like I didn't even read the synergies that much. One of them is about extending the duration of the ruptures. One is about having an extra rupture from the SP2 when it gives it back. But this is the SP2 that I have in the starting of the video, like coming soon one. So that did 27,000 damage, I think, in both the first hit and the second hit. So that's 54,000 damage, plus the SP3 must have done some damage at least. So yeah, his stagger is not something I'm a fan of, but otherwise, like this character, he can get a lot of stuff done, and I usually like characters who have a lot of damage output. Like I usually always like them, and he does remind me of some of those characters, and like I really like him. That's basically the point that I'm trying to convey. The video would be over after this fight, but like as you can see, even here the rupture damage, like it's doing more than 500 every single tick, so more than 1000 every single second, plus the SP2 damage, plus the power gain from the Wrath. Even like I don't care what the hit counter says, this damage is really nice for a 4 star at rank 5 without suicide masteries. uh, and yeah, so another 24,000 medium, never mind, like SP2 crit. um, and now we have another SP2. Like, there's a lot of SP2. He is kind of a combination of a character who has really hard hitting SP2, a character who gets some power gains after using his SP2, and it might interact really well with the Mystic power boost, because you get some power back anyways, plus you do a lot of damage on the special attacks. So that could be something that works out really well. But anyways, that's gonna do it for today's video. Thanks for watching, have a nice day, subscribe to the channel for more content, and stay safe. Bye bye.